There is a divine truth that few understand, but all must eventually confront. The chosen ones are often born into the most toxic of families. This paradox runs deep beyond the surface of circumstance, through the very fabric of spiritual destiny. It's not merely a random occurrence. It is part of a sacred design, a mysterious purpose, set before the foundations of the world. The chosen ones, those destined for greatness, are often raised in the harshest environments where love is twisted and understanding is lost. It's a process, a refining fire that burns away the excess, the impurities, and the false identities that would otherwise hinder the soul from reaching its divine purpose. The toxic family is the crucible, the place where one must rise above the pain, the betrayal, and the confusion. The chosen ones are often placed in the most toxic of families, and this is not a mere coincidence or an accident. It is part of a divine design, a deeply intentional arrangement made by a higher power. While to the untrained eye, it may seem like an unfair curse or an unfortunate fate, there is a deeper and more profound reason for this seemingly harsh. From a spiritual perspective, the path that the chosen ones walk is not one of comfort, ease, or the predictable safety of a familiar home environment. Instead, they are placed in families filled with dysfunction, conflict, and chaos. Families where love is conditional, understanding is rare, and support can be absent or fleeting. This divine design is not cruel or capricious. It is purposeful. It is crafted with the intention of shaping the individual into someone capable of fulfilling a much larger purpose than they could have ever imagined. There's a reason the chosen are not born into perfect families where everything is ideal, where love flows freely, and every need is met. In a perfect world, the challenges that define us, that push us to grow, would be absent. But in a perfect world, the chosen ones would not rise to their full potential. It is easy to assume that being born into a toxic environment means being doomed to fail. After all, a toxic family can breed resentment, insecurity, and emotional damage. Yet this is precisely the reason the chosen ones are placed in such environments. They are not destined to be shaped by the world around them. Instead, they are to be shaped by the higher calling that surges within them, a calling that drives them to transcend the pain of their circumstances. The toxicity around them serves as a backdrop, a tool to build their strength, not their weakness. From a spiritual perspective, God does not call the comfortable or the complacent to great tasks. He calls those who are willing to endure hardship, to face adversity with unwavering faith and resilience. The path of the chosen ones is never about ease or privilege. It is about the transformation that comes through overcoming difficulties. The toxicity of their family environment is but the first hurdle in their spiritual journey. It is not meant to break them. Rather, it is meant to build them, to forge them into warriors of faith, visionaries who can see beyond the immediate, beyond the circumstances, and into a larger, more divine picture. In a toxic family, the chosen ones often grow up witnessing behaviors that most would consider damaging. Manipulation, emotional neglect, abuse, and dysfunction. They may face emotional isolation, loneliness, or even outright hostility. Yet in these environments, they learn lessons that are not taught in the comfort of loving, harmonious households. They learn resilience, the ability to stand firm in the face of adversity. They develop empathy and a deeper understanding of the human condition. They learn to listen to their own intuition and trust their instincts because, more often than not, the world around them will not offer the guidance they so desperately need. They are forced to rely on an inner strength, a quiet knowing that there is something greater at work within them. Through these struggles, the chosen ones are being prepared for a purpose far beyond the confines of their toxic families. They are being readied to rise above the chaos and lead others out of their own darkness. The toxicity in their environment serves as a tool for their spiritual growth, sharpening their resilience, deepening their character, and expanding their capacity for compassion and understanding. It is in the face of adversity that they discover who they truly are, what they are made of, and what they are destined to accomplish. While many will see the toxic family as a reason for failure, the chosen ones will see it as the very thing that propels them forward. They will learn to turn their pain into power, their sorrow into strength, and their isolation into independence. This will not be an easy journey, nor a painless one, but it will be one of great spiritual depth and divine purpose. In a world that often seeks to numb and avoid pain, the chosen ones are called to confront it head on, to understand it, and to use it as a foundation for their greater calling. The toxic family is not the end of their story, it is the beginning. It is the beginning of a journey that will ultimately shape them into the leaders, the visionaries, and the change makers they were always meant to be. The divine design of their lives is not about comfort, it's about transformation. They are not meant to stay in the toxic family. They are meant to rise above it, to learn from it, and to use the very things that tried to break them as stepping stones to their greater purpose. It is in the darkest places that the brightest lights are often born. And it is in the midst of toxicity that the chosen ones discover their true strength and calling. The toxic family is not a punishment, but a profound and intentional part of their divine preparation. And in time, they will come to see that it was never about the toxicity of their environment, but about their ability to rise above it and transform the world around them. The toxicity in the environment of the chosen ones is not there to break them. Rather, it serves as a refining fire. This process of refinement, though painful, is necessary to purify the spirit, to shed the unnecessary layers of doubt, fear, and false identities that might otherwise hinder their true purpose. The fire, though hot and seemingly destructive, has a divine purpose: to separate the precious from the worthless, to remove the impurities that cloud the vision and the path ahead. In this fire, the chosen ones are tested, and through their testing, they are strengthened. Much like gold or silver must go through the furnace to be purified, so too must the chosen ones go through the furnace of adversity to emerge refined and transformed. The toxic environment they are born into is the very furnace in which they are shaped. 'Tis not a random cruelty, it is part of a divine plan. The impurities, insecurities, false beliefs, or unhealthy attachments are burned away. What remains is the core essence of who they are meant to become: strong, resilient, and purpose-driven individuals prepared to fulfill a greater calling. The process of refinement is not instantaneous, nor is it easy. It requires time, patience, and often a deep sense of discomfort. The chosen ones will experience moments of deep despair, confusion, and frustration. The toxic family environment may seem relentless, and at times it may feel as though there is no escape from the toxicity. Yet, it is precisely in these moments of intense pressure that their true strength begins to emerge. The more they endure, the more they are molded into the person they are meant to be. The fire is not meant to destroy, it is meant to shape them into something more valuable, more durable, and more capable of fulfilling their divine purpose. It is also in this fire that the chosen ones begin to learn the difference between what is essential and what is expendable. In toxic environments, there are often distractions, false comforts, and superficial attachments that can keep a person from their true calling. But as the fire of adversity burns away these distractions, the chosen ones become clear about their mission and their values. What once seemed important, such as approval from others, material success, or superficial relationships, begins to fade in importance. They begin to understand that the true treasures of life are not found in the external world, but in the internal transformation that occurs through their trials. In this refining process, the chosen ones also learn the power of resilience. They learn that life's difficulties do not define them. Rather, it is how they respond to these challenges that shapes their destiny. The toxic family may provide a steady stream of obstacles, harsh words, neglect, manipulation, or emotional abuse, but each obstacle becomes an opportunity for growth. It is in overcoming these obstacles that the chosen ones discover their inner strength. The more they face, the stronger they become, the more they endure, the more their character is developed. They learn that no matter how difficult the road may be, they are equipped with the strength to overcome it. The refining fire teaches them to develop a deep sense of self-worth that is not contingent on the approval or validation of others. In toxic environments, self-esteem can easily be shattered. Toxic families can create doubt, foster insecurity, and cause the chosen ones to question their value. But as they endure the refining process, they learn to separate their sense of worth from external sources. They begin to realize that their value is inherent, not based on what others think of them, but on the truth of who they are. They are not defined by their circumstances. They are defined by the strength, resilience, and wisdom they gain through their journey. This process of refinement also enables the chosen ones to become more compassionate and empathetic toward others. Having experienced hardship themselves, they begin to see the world through a different lens. They understand pain, rejection, and struggle in a way that others cannot. This deep understanding becomes a source of strength, enabling them to connect with others in meaningful ways and to offer support and guidance to those who are going through similar struggles. Their experiences in the fire do not make them bitter. Rather, they make them more compassionate, more understanding, and more driven to help others who are lost in their own toxic environments. The refining fire, while painful, is also the place where their vision begins to take shape. As the impurities are burned away, the true essence of their purpose becomes clearer. They begin to see their life's mission with greater clarity and certainty. The struggles they face become stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. Each hardship they endure adds another layer of strength, wisdom, and insight that will be crucial for the work they are destined to do. It is in the fire that they are forged into instruments of change, equipped to handle the demands of their future calling. The refining fire is not something to fear or avoid, but it is a sacred process that purifies, strengthens, and prepares the chosen ones for the purpose they were always meant to fulfill. The toxic environment they are born into is not their curse, but their training ground. It is in this fire that they are molded, shaped, and made ready to rise above their circumstances and achieve greatness. It is through this process that they discover their true worth, their true strength, and the depth of their purpose. Growing up in a toxic family environment often forces the chosen ones into a deep and sometimes painful isolation. It is in this solitude and amidst the confusion, conflict, and chaos of their surroundings that they are given the unique opportunity to discover clarity. The world around them may be filled with distractions and noise, but in the silence of their isolation, they are given the space to hear their own thoughts, to confront their inner world, and to seek the deeper truths that will shape their destiny. While others may find comfort in the noise of daily life, in the validation of those around them, and in the constant bustle of activity, the chosen ones are often thrust into a position where they must rely on their own intuition and inner wisdom. The toxic family dynamics may isolate them emotionally or physically, but this forced solitude becomes the fertile ground where they begin to cultivate a deeper understanding of who they are and what they are meant to do. In a world that constantly demands external validation, the chosen ones are forced to look inward, to search for answers that others may never find. This search for truth, for meaning, becomes their guiding light in the midst of darkness. The isolation experienced in toxic families is not just about being alone. It is about learning to trust oneself. The chosen ones often face an environment where their worth is questioned, where their emotions are dismissed, and where their needs are unmet. In such an environment, they quickly realize that the approval of others is unreliable and fleeting. Over time, they are forced to develop a deeper sense of self-reliance, learning to trust their own judgment and inner voice. This self-trust becomes essential to their journey, as they must ultimately walk a path that few will understand or support. The more they are isolated, the more they are driven to discover their own truths, their own beliefs, and their own purpose. This isolation also enables the chosen ones to gain clarity about the world around them. Growing up in toxic families means being able to see dysfunction clearly, whether it's unhealthy patterns of behavior, toxic communication, or destructive emotional cycles. In the midst of this, the chosen ones develop a keen awareness of what is real and what is false. They begin to see beyond the surface, beyond the masks that people wear, and into the heart of the matter. In the silence of their solitude, they observe with a sharp clarity that others, caught up in the drama of daily life, may miss. They learn to read people, to understand motives, and to discern truth from deception. This clarity becomes a powerful tool as they navigate the complexities of the world and their own journey. Isolation gives the chosen ones the space to refine their sense of purpose. In a toxic family, it is easy to become entangled in the struggles of others, to get caught in the emotional turmoil and the chaos of family dynamics. But in isolation, the chosen ones are forced to disconnect from the noise and to focus on their own path. They are given the opportunity to ask themselves the big questions: who am I? Why am I here? What am I meant to do? This period of introspection is crucial in helping them form a clear vision of their future. Without the distractions and expectations placed on them by a toxic family, they are able to gain the focus and clarity needed to pursue their true calling. In this isolation, the chosen ones are also confronted with their own fears, insecurities, and doubts. While the external world may seem chaotic, it is in this inward journey that they face the deepest parts of them. The toxic family may have instilled certain beliefs or fears within them, beliefs about their worth, about the world, and about what is possible. But in their isolation, they are given the space to challenge these beliefs, to confront their inner demons, and to redefine who they are and what they are capable of. This self-confrontation is painful, but it is necessary for growth. It is in these moments of quiet introspection that the chosen ones shed the layers of false identity and uncover the true essence of who they are meant to be. Isolation often gives the chosen ones a profound sense of connection to something greater than themselves. As they disconnect from the toxic influences around them, they begin to sense a higher calling, a divine purpose that transcends their immediate circumstances. The silence and solitude become a space where they can connect with their spiritual selves, where they can hear the still, small voice that guides them on their path. This connection is not always loud or dramatic, but it is steady and sure. It is in the stillness that they can hear the voice of God, the voice of their true purpose, guiding them forward. This process of isolation also teaches the chosen ones resilience. In a world that often values connection, social status, and external validation, isolation can feel like a punishment, but for the chosen, it is a test of their inner strength. They learn to find peace within themselves, to draw strength from their own resources rather than relying on external support. This resilience becomes a cornerstone of their character, a trait that will serve them well as they face the challenges of their calling. They learn that they are never truly alone because they carry within them the strength, wisdom, and guidance that will always lead them through the darkest of times. In the silence of their solitude, the chosen ones gain the clarity they need to move forward. They are no longer clouded by the chaos around them, but are instead able to see with new eyes, to understand with a deeper sense of purpose. It is in this space, removed from the distractions and toxicity of their families, that they are able to hear the call of their true destiny and to begin the journey of fulfillment and transformation. The journey of the chosen ones is not just one of personal growth, but one of immense spiritual growth as well. Within toxic families, the chosen ones often face an environment that attempts to suppress their spiritual growth and diminish their connection with the divine. These families may actively or passively discourage spiritual exploration, impose limiting beliefs, or even foster an atmosphere of skepticism and cynicism. Yet it is precisely within this resistance that the chosen ones are often pushed to forge a stronger, more intimate connection with their spiritual self. The more their family attempts to break their spirit, the more determined they become to seek truth beyond what is presented to them in the confines of their toxic environment. In a toxic family, the spiritual life of the chosen ones often feels stifled, constrained, and misunderstood. Many are subjected to toxic patterns such as guilt, shame, or fear-based control, which can distort their perception of spirituality. They may grow up believing that their connection to the divine is conditional, that they must meet specific expectations or be punished for their perceived shortcomings. This creates an internal conflict within them, a dissonance between what they feel deep inside and the environment they are forced to exist in. However, this very tension becomes the driving force for them to search beyond the boundaries set by their families, to look for a deeper, more authentic spiritual experience. It is in this search for spiritual truth that they begin to uncover the deep wells of power and peace that come from a personal, unshakable connection with the divine. The toxicity of their families may try to convince them that spirituality is a rigid, one-dimensional experience, something that fits within certain parameters or doctrines. However, the chosen ones begin to discover that true spirituality is not limited to the constructs of the environment they were born into. They find that their connection with God, the universe, or whatever higher power they believe in, is a deeply personal experience. It is not defined by the rules of their family, but by their own heart and soul. They learn that they are not bound by the expectations or limitations placed on them by toxic family dynamics. They are free to explore spirituality in a way that resonates with their true self. This revelation is liberating. They discover that their spirituality is not a reflection of the toxic influences around them, but a manifestation of their inner truth, one that is shaped by their unique relationship with the divine. As the chosen ones delve deeper into their spiritual lives, they begin to recognize that their spiritual journey is uniquely their own, separate from the toxic narratives their families try to impose upon them. They are often able to break free from limiting beliefs, rejecting the negative conditioning they received in favor of a more expansive, empowering view of themselves and their connection with the universe. This new awareness allows them to see that their spiritual path was never meant to follow the path of their family, but to break away from it and forge a new way forward. This revelation is incredibly freeing. It opens up a world of possibility, allowing them to see life not through the eyes of their toxic family, but from the perspective of the divine. The journey of spiritual awakening for the chosen ones is often fraught with struggles. They may face resistance both from within and from their toxic family environment. The toxic family dynamics may try to force them back into old patterns of behavior or thinking, or may pressure them to abandon their spiritual pursuits altogether. But the more they lean into their spiritual awakening, the stronger their connection to the divine becomes. Their faith becomes a cornerstone of their strength, a wellspring of guidance and support that sustains them through the hardships they face. As they grow spiritually, they begin to feel the pull of something greater than themselves, a sense of purpose that transcends the limitations imposed upon them. Their spiritual journey gives them the resilience to endure the chaos of their toxic family life, enabling them to rise above the negativity and move toward the higher calling they are destined to fulfill. Through this spiritual growth, the chosen ones also develop a deep sense of inner peace. They learn to trust the divine timing of their lives, understanding that each trial, each challenge, and each moment of difficulty is part of a larger plan designed to shape them into the individuals they are meant to become. In the midst of their toxic family environment, they begin to cultivate a sense of calm and peace that cannot be disturbed by external circumstances. Their connection with the divine provides them with a solid foundation, allowing them to navigate the turbulence of family life with grace and wisdom. They learn that peace is not the absence of difficulty, but the presence of a deep, abiding connection with something greater than themselves. This spiritual growth also opens their eyes to the importance of forgiveness. The toxic families they come from may have inflicted deep emotional wounds, but as they grow spiritually, the chosen ones begin to understand the power of letting go of bitterness, resentment, and anger. They realize that forgiveness is not about excusing the behavior of others, but about freeing themselves from the chains of negative emotion that bind them. Forgiveness becomes an act of spiritual liberation, allowing them to move forward with a heart unburdened by the past. This act of letting go also frees them to move into their higher calling, unencumbered by the weight of old grudges or painful memories. In this spiritual journey, the chosen ones also find a greater sense of purpose. As they deepen their connection with the divine, they begin to feel a pull towards something larger than themselves. They recognize that their struggles are not meaningless. They are a part of a divine plan that is unfolding in their lives. They may begin to understand that their purpose is not just to survive, but to thrive, to rise above their circumstances, and to help others find their own way. Their spiritual growth becomes the foundation for their service to others, as they are called to share the light they have discovered with the world around them. This sense of purpose strengthens their resolve, helping them to move beyond the limitations of their toxic family environment and into a future filled with possibility and divine direction. Thus, spiritual growth is not just a side effect of their journey. It is the very core of the transformation the chosen ones undergo. It is this growth that empowers them to break free from the toxic patterns of their families, to redefine their lives and to step into their true calling. In the end, their spiritual awakening is what sustains them through the darkest of times, allowing them to emerge stronger, wiser, and more connected to their true purpose. The chosen ones often find that their journey through toxic families leads them to confront the immense power of their emotional healing. Within toxic family environments, the chosen ones frequently carry the weight of deep emotional wounds that, if left unaddressed, can define their lives. These wounds may stem from neglect, emotional manipulation, constant criticism, or even betrayal. It is within the crucible of this toxicity that their emotional healing process begins, often slowly and painfully. But paradoxically, it is through facing and confronting these emotional wounds that they begin to discover their true strength and resilience. The very family environment that seeks to damage them becomes the catalyst for their emotional growth and transformation. Emotional healing is not a linear process. For the chosen ones, it often feels as though they are continuously being drawn back into the turmoil of the past. The scars left by toxic family dynamics are not easily erased. They are embedded in the very fabric of their emotional lives. These wounds may cause the chosen ones to feel unworthy of love, uncertain of their own identity, or fearful of their future. They may internalize the negativity they experience, believing that they are doomed to repeat the same patterns of dysfunction. However, as they begin to heal, they realize that these wounds do not define them. They are merely experiences to learn from, challenges to overcome, and stepping stones on their path toward wholeness. The emotional healing process begins when the chosen ones first acknowledge their pain. For years, they may have buried their feelings, tried to ignore their hurt, or attempted to live with the belief that things would change on their own. But healing starts when they recognize the damage that has been done and begin to confront it head on. This moment of acknowledgement is powerful. It is a moment of awakening, of understanding that they are not responsible for the toxic behaviors of their family members, nor are they bound to the negative beliefs that were instilled in them. This realization sets the stage for deep emotional healing as they begin to separate themselves from the dysfunction and reclaim their emotional well-being. Once the chosen ones begin to acknowledge their emotional pain, they are faced with the task of processing it. This is not always easy, as it requires them to revisit painful memories and emotions that they may have long avoided. It may mean confronting old wounds that have been left open for far too long, yet it is through this process that they begin to release the negative emotions that have held them captive. By processing their pain, they take control of their emotional narrative. They no longer allow their toxic family environment to dictate their emotional state. Instead, they reclaim their power and start to rewrite their story, focusing not on the wounds, but on the healing that is taking place. As they continue their emotional healing journey, the chosen ones also begin to cultivate healthier emotional boundaries. Growing up in a toxic family often means having no clear boundaries. Emotions are manipulated, needs are ignored, and personal space is violated. The chosen ones are taught either overtly or subtly that their feelings do not matter, or that they must constantly accommodate the needs of others, even at their own expense. In healing, they begin to understand the importance of setting boundaries, both with their family members and with the world around them. They learn that it is not selfish to prioritize their emotional health. It is necessary. By establishing healthy boundaries, they protect themselves from further emotional harm and create the space they need to heal and grow. The emotional healing process also involves learning to trust again. Toxic families often undermine trust, especially in the chosen ones. Whether it is through broken promises, betrayal, or lies, the chosen ones may find it difficult to trust anyone, even themselves. This lack of trust can lead to feelings of isolation as they fear opening up to others or allowing themselves to be vulnerable. But as they heal, they begin to rebuild their ability to trust not only in others, but also in their own emotional instincts. They learn that trust is not a guarantee of safety, but a step in their growth, allowing them to open their hearts to others and, more importantly, to themselves. The more they trust in their own emotional wisdom, the more they are able to trust others who are capable of offering them love and support. Another critical aspect of emotional healing for the chosen ones is the ability to forgive. Forgiveness is often seen as an act of releasing others from the burden of their actions, but for the chosen ones, forgiveness is just as much about releasing themselves from the emotional chains of resentment and anger. Growing up in a toxic family can lead to deep resentment toward family members, especially when the chosen ones feel that they have been wronged or abandoned. Holding on to this resentment can keep them tethered to the toxicity of the past. Through healing, they come to understand that forgiveness is not about condoning the behavior of others, but about freeing themselves from the emotional toxicity that continues to weigh them down. Forgiveness is an act of liberation, allowing them to let go of the emotional burden and move forward with a lighter heart. As the chosen ones heal emotionally, they also begin to reconnect with their true selves. In toxic families, the chosen ones are often told who they should be, what they should believe, and how they should feel. Their identity becomes entangled with the expectations and criticisms of their family members, leaving them unsure of who they really are. Through the healing process, they start to peel away these layers of imposed identity and rediscover their authentic selves. They reconnect with the parts of themselves that were once suppressed, reawakening their sense of purpose, passion, and individuality. They no longer define themselves by the toxic labels placed on them by their family, but by their own intrinsic worth and uniqueness. The emotional healing journey is not a quick fix. It takes time, patience, and a deep commitment to oneself. But as the chosen ones continue to heal, they experience a profound transformation. They become more resilient, more self-aware, and more connected to their emotional truth. The emotional wounds of the past no longer have the power to dictate their lives. Instead, they use these experiences as stepping stones toward a brighter, more empowered future. In the end, the emotional healing they undergo becomes not just a process of recovery, but a transformative force that leads them to a deeper sense of peace, purpose, and inner strength. As the chosen ones navigate their existence within toxic family environments, they often come to realize the importance of resilience in shaping their destiny. Resilience, in its truest sense, is not simply the ability to endure hardship, but to rise above it, to emerge stronger and more focused on their personal path, despite the challenges they face. Growing up in a toxic family dynamic can feel like a constant battle, whether it's emotional neglect, manipulation, criticism, or control. The chosen ones are repeatedly tested. Yet it is through these trials that they learn the power of resilience, which becomes one of the most defining characteristics of their journey. From an early age, the chosen ones learn that life within a toxic family is often unpredictable and filled with emotional chaos. They may experience a lack of support, love, and understanding, which leads them to feel isolated or abandoned. The toxic patterns of their family can make them question their worth, their abilities, and their place in the world. Yet, despite the turbulence, There is something deeply transformative about these trials. The chosen ones begin to understand that resilience isn't about avoiding pain, but about facing it head on, learning from it, and using it to fuel their growth. Each setback they encounter, whether it's a hurtful comment, an unjust action, or a painful moment of rejection, becomes an opportunity for them to cultivate resilience. In the face of adversity, they are forced to dig deep within themselves, finding strength in places they never knew existed. The more they face these challenges, the more they learn about their own capacity for endurance and growth. Rather than allowing the toxicity around them to break them, they use it as fuel to propel them forward. They begin to see themselves not as victims of their circumstances, but as individuals who possess the power to overcome anything life throws at them. In this process of developing resilience, the chosen ones also begin to change their perspective on failure and setbacks. In a toxic family, failure is often treated as a reflection of one's worth, leading to feelings of shame and inadequacy. However, as the chosen ones grow and evolve, they begin to understand that failure is not a permanent state, but a stepping stone on the path to success. They realize that resilience is not about being invincible, but about being able to rise each time they fall, to learn from their mistakes, and to keep moving forward. This shift in mindset is a crucial part of their transformation, as it allows them to embrace the ups and downs of life with a sense of purpose and determination. Resilience also allows the chosen ones to reclaim their sense of agency and self-determination. In a toxic family, they may have been conditioned to believe that their worth is dictated by the opinions and behaviors of others. They may have been taught to rely on external validation, constantly seeking approval from those around them. But as they grow in resilience, they begin to realize that their true worth does not come from others. It comes from within. They learn to trust their own instincts, make decisions based on their own values, and take ownership of their lives. This sense of empowerment is one of the most liberating aspects of resilience, as it enables the chosen ones to break free from the grip of toxic family influences and create a life that is authentically their own. Resilience is also deeply intertwined with the chosen one's ability to set boundaries. In a toxic family, boundaries are often blurred or ignored, leading to an environment where personal needs are not respected. However, as they develop resilience, the chosen ones come to understand that setting clear boundaries is not an act of selfishness, but of self-respect. They begin to protect their emotional, mental, and physical well-being by creating healthy distance from the toxic behaviors of their family. This act of setting boundaries is a testament to their growing strength and resilience, as it requires courage to stand firm in their convictions and defend their sense of self. Through resilience, the chosen ones also develop a sense of clarity about their purpose in life. In the midst of a toxic family environment, it can be easy to become lost, confused, or disconnected from one's true call. The constant barrage of negativity and dysfunction can cloud their vision and make it difficult to see a way forward. But as they grow stronger, they begin to see beyond the toxicity, focusing on the bigger picture of their lives. They start to hear the quiet whispers of their soul, guiding them toward their true purpose. Resilience helps them cut through the noise of the toxic environment and stay focused on the goals and dreams that truly matter to them. This newfound clarity also gives the chosen ones the strength to take bold actions. When living in a toxic family, it's easy to become paralyzed by fear of rejection, fear of failure, or fear of not being good enough. However, resilience helps the chosen ones face these fears head on. They understand that fear is not a barrier to success, but a signpost indicating that they are on the right path. With resilience, they are able to take risks, push through uncertainty, and make decisions that align with their highest aspirations. They begin to trust that no matter the outcome, they are capable of handling whatever comes their way. Resilience also teaches the chosen ones to practice patience. In a toxic family, it's common to feel frustrated by the lack of support, understanding, or change. The chosen ones may find themselves waiting for their family to recognize their worth, to offer validation, or to change their toxic behaviors. But resilience teaches them that change often comes slowly and that their journey is not dependent on the actions of others. They learn to be patient with themselves and with the process of transformation, understanding that growth takes time and that every step forward, no matter how small, is progress. In this journey of resilience, the chosen ones begin to find a deeper connection to their inner strength. They no longer see themselves as passive victims of their circumstances, but as powerful individuals who have the ability to shape their own destiny. Their resilience becomes the foundation upon which they build their future, allowing them to overcome the obstacles that once seemed insurmountable. As they move through life, they carry with them the unshakable belief that no matter what happens, they will always rise again, stronger and more determined than before. This unwavering resilience becomes the key to their success, helping them navigate even the most toxic environments and ultimately emerge victorious. In conclusion, the journey of the chosen ones within toxic family environments is one of profound transformation and growth. These individuals are often faced with emotional and psychological challenges that seem insurmountable. Yet it is within this crucible that they find their greatest strength. Through emotional healing, resilience, and the cultivation of inner power, they rise above the toxicity that once sought to define them. Rather than allowing their circumstances to break them, the chosen ones learn to use their struggles as fuel for their evolution. The toxicity they experience serves as a catalyst for self-awareness, helping them uncover their true potential and their unique purpose in the world. They come to understand that their worth is not defined by the dysfunction around them, but by their own ability to transform, heal, and create a life of meaning. By embracing their resilience and staying true to their inner selves, the chosen ones break free from the patterns of their past, setting the stage for a future full of limitless possibilities. Ultimately, the chosen ones prove that no matter how toxic the environment may be, the power to overcome, grow, and thrive lies within. Their journey is a testament to the strength of the human spirit and the unwavering belief that no matter the challenges faced, they have the power to shape their destiny and fulfill their divine purpose.